Hey, this is Brian behind the camera.
And it is Alexandra in front of the camera.
What episode are we on today, darling?
12.
Wow, that was great. I really appreciated that.
Really got into it.
You really did get into it. What are we going to talk about today?
Today we're going to talk about love and appreciation.
It sounds like a fun topic.
It is. It's been transformational for us.
Would you like me to kick it off?
I would love for you to kick it off.
Let me kick it off. So I'll go ahead and kick it off. Appreciation. It's one of our primary love practices, and we're going to talk about a bunch of the things that we do to help our relationship out. And love and appreciation rather is like probably the biggest one. We're going to talk about projections and no longer projecting. That's huge, and some other stuff that we've played with over the last few years. So appreciation. Best way to give the context is a guy named John Gottman, a researcher up in, I believe, Washington. Does that sound right?
I don't know.
He's somewhere out here, Pacific Northwest. He has studied relationships, and he can actually bring a couple into his lab. Couples into his lab, and he can tell within minutes, with something like 90% plus accuracy, which couple will get divorced or break up and which relationship will stay together, right? It's an amazing thing. And what he does is he measures very subtle things from whether they're leaning into one another like a positive way, or whether they're pulling away from one another, whether they're saying chirpy things and kind of criticizing, whether they're being kind and generous and appreciative. And he can measure them, and he can code their positive interactions to negative interactions. And if the couple doesn't have at least 5 positive interactions to 1 negative interaction, he can predict with over 90% certainty that the relationship is going to end. Isn't that amazing? So you need to get a 5-to-1 relationship ratio with your significant other, with your kids, with your colleagues, with all these different individuals you have in your lives. You want to think about that 5-to-1 relationship ratio, and it's a big practice for us thinking about that ratio, and we think about it a lot. And I'll let Alexandra share how we make that an actual part of our practice.
So we do appreciations every night before we go to bed. Almost every night. Probably 5, 6, 7 nights a week, wouldn't you say?
Sometimes 8.
Sometimes 8.
For really feeling it?
So we do it often. And we used to do 10 appreciations of each other every day, but now we just kind of randomly just appreciate. So I don't know what I'm going to share.
Well, it's pretty cool. I mean, share every time. It's a pretty cool way to go to bed, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to go to bed that you are appreciating your partner, for all the amazing things that they did during the day. And it could be something simple like, I appreciate that you made green juice for us today, or whatever. Or I appreciate your integrity, or I appreciate your strengths, whatever they may be.
You want to share some with me?
Some of your appreciations?
Yeah.
So what I appreciate about Brian what I appreciate about you is I appreciate your integrity to your values. I appreciate your commitment to living your truth. I appreciate how sweet you are and generous you are to me always. I appreciate how much you appreciate me. I appreciate your creativity. I appreciate your ability to get things done. I appreciate that you are helping this move navigate very smoothly, because if I was by myself, it would not be going as smoothly. I appreciate your ability to pack a box. I don't have that brilliance. And I appreciate that you are going to be the most amazing father ever.
Wow. Thank you, darling.
Yeah, you're welcome, babes.
I would love to share some with you.
Okay.
So first, this is amazing. Thank you, darling. And we do this literally whenever we feel inspired. Like if we're on a hike, we'll just go back and forth in appreciations of one another. And we really love to do it right before we go to bed. So right before we go to bed, we're kind of just, reading and kind of conked out, getting ready to fall asleep. And we'll share 5, 10, 15 things we appreciate about the other person, just like what Alexandra shared. And so what do I appreciate about you, darling? I appreciate your smile and your laugh. I appreciate how authentic you are. I appreciate that you never really care if your hair looks great when we do these TV episodes. There's the laugh I'm talking about, by the way.
Which one?
You already mentioned your smile. I appreciate your smile. I appreciate how cool you are and how much your friends appreciate you whenever you talk to them, that you just really light them up and give them such amazing wisdom from a grounded, centered, non-preachy, non-trying to rescue them way. That's really, really cool. I appreciate how awesome of an interviewer you are, and I appreciate how great of a listener you are. I appreciate that you are my coach. I get to talk to you all day long about what we're creating together. I appreciate that you're going to be the most amazing mother ever. That's going to be pretty cool. And I appreciate your playfulness, your curiosity and love of learning, your creativity, your wisdom. I'm on the spot, I'm forgetting them. Your gratitude, and what's your other one?
Hope and optimism.
Hope and optimism. So one of the things we like to do back and forth is appreciate each other's signature strengths. So I just got a little blanked on that one. Forgot hope and optimism. But go back and forth, and you know, my strengths and her strengths will share to one another, which is really, really cool. Kind of the virtues in action, which we talk a lot about. We'll talk about in a future episode. But I appreciate all those things about you and so much more. And I appreciate that you're my wife. Amen. That's how we like to end. I appreciate that you're my wife. Amen. I love that.
And I appreciate that you're my husband. Amen.
So that's appreciating and appreciation. It's a huge practice for us. We're really excited to do this with our kids when we have kids, and it's something that we like to do whenever we're feeling upset or triggered by someone. Oftentimes we'll catch it and we'll alchemize a frustration or a criticism into an appreciation. So can we see something that we genuinely appreciate about the other person? It's a really cool practice. 5 to 1. Think about that. 5 to 1. We got all the little hand signals going on. Think about that with your intimate relationship, because if you have less than 5 to 1, just constantly bickering, you're going to have challenges. And we need to make those deposits into our emotional bank accounts with our partners. And it's just cool. And the other idea with appreciation is when you appreciate someone or something, their value appreciates in value. So it goes up. So when you appreciate someone, their value goes up. Really cool idea. Anything else you want to share?
I think that's awesome. I also think just appreciation in general is amazing.
Tell us.
Well, I will tell you personally today, I've been really working on my appreciation. Because, you know, that time of the month is around. And I haven't been all... I don't overflow with appreciation during that time for whatever reason. I'm sure women can relate. So it's a practice for me of appreciating all that I have in my life as I'm going through those hormonal changes. So I think appreciations for your relationships are huge, and then just appreciation of your life, of all the amazing things, even if, you know, whatever, your hair's messed up, you have a pimple.
Just a little one, babe. You should have seen the show that I had last night.
Yes, I'll talk about it. So yes, I woke up this morning. Well, I'll just share. I have a little pimple here. It's not even little because it was like swollen here. And in my meditation practice, I opened my eyes and I couldn't see. And I was like, oh! So then I'm like, I appreciate my amazing body for doing what it needs to do to be in balance and in harmony. Thank you. So that's it.
That's awesome.
That wasn't planned.
It worked out pretty well though.
Okay, so appreciating your relationships, appreciating your life, appreciating your pimples, and
appreciating ourselves. I'll just riff on that quickly. We've got only like a minute left, but we got to appreciate ourselves. So start by appreciating what do you love about yourself? Like what really inspires you? What are you proud of? What do you genuinely appreciate about your life? And gratitude, we haven't talked about this either, but just gratitude and appreciation. It's one of the most powerful ways for us to increase our happiness. Just keeping a gratitude journal on a daily basis of things we're grateful for. I love to wake up, first thing I do in the morning is think of the things I'm grateful for, and often journal those before, in the morning or in the evenings. Just little things. Just learn to appreciate things in our lives. It's a huge practice, scientifically proven to boost our levels of happiness, and we'll leave it at that. 4 days till we move to Bali. Really excited. I'm a little tired at the moment. I'm excited to get to Bali. Chillax a little bit. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Okay.
So lastly, we appreciate you. Thanks for watching.
That's awesome. We do appreciate you. What amazing comments and feedback and energy. Thank you so much. You guys are really inspiring us, and keep the questions coming. Let us know what you want us to go into more detail. That's really helpful for us. We've got ideas kind of percolating, and then we'll pull one out, in the days and weeks and months and years ahead. So big hugs, appreciation all around. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.